Welcome back to the Major League Gaming 2009 PC circuit played on HB Live in Anaheim. I'm Keith Igo Trahan, joined by Jared Fiel Colston, as we're getting ready to go into SKEU versus Complexity BHMs. And this is a huge match because whoever wins this will be locked into the top four. Whoever loses will be in question.
And I tell you what, if you loved the tournaments at level 70 and loved to see those long WLD mirrors, this is going to take a little bit from that. This Shadow Cleave mirror can last a long time. However, these are two great teams, so there could be a possibility of a quick kill.
So game one already ready to go. We're going to be playing on Dalaran Arena with these two Shadow Cleaves playing it out.
All right, Dalaran Arena is, can't really say if one team has an advantage of the other over the other, because of course they're running the same thing. Now, both these teams are great at this comp. Obviously, we do have the famous Inflame running Warlock for SKEU, which we will follow out of the gate. He's going to drop his portal right onto the stairs and look for his target, which is going to be Barogo.
If it's not dotted, something's going to be wrong here, as both of these teams are just going to probably tap target, and if it's a pet even, it's still going to be getting dots. And you see it already in Flames targeting, actually going to health funnel his pet because he sees the damage coming in, just trying to make sure that these pet kills can be huge in these matches.
There you go. Inflame did have his pet beside him most of that time, and now he's sending it in. Although now he's bringing it back, doing a great job of pet control right there. Actually, another's taking a bunch of damage right now, down to half, and needing to AMS already.
So pretty much everything minus the Druids dotted and hotted at this point. Snuts was taking a little bit of damage, but will portal back through. And if you do see Snuts' pet was bouncing below 50% for a little while there, but we do have a Death Coil and a Strangulate onto another, so a little bit of a miscue there from BHMs.
It was a good idea of what Massives did, though, but he's going to pay for it, though, and look at that. On your screen, you did see another get dragged down to the bottom, which was a great idea, leaving him out of LOS of his Druid. However, he turned it back onto Massives, and killed him. And
basically, Enigma's just schooled Brogo just a little bit there with that Cyclone. And actually, this game's going to end pretty quick. SKEU being very dominant in the first game and scoring a quick kill onto Massives.
I actually didn't expect that to go that quickly whatsoever. Again, it was a great attempt by Massive to pull him down, but, we saw that Strangulate and the Death Coil at the same time, and then he identified that Brogo wasn't anywhere near Massives and turned around and hit him in the face.
And, I mean, you look at the damage breakdown, about the same for both teams. Snuts doing a little more than Inflames, another doing a little more than Massives. So, but actually Snuts doing a pretty large amount more than Inflames, but still, doesn't matter. Massive's the one to go down first.
So it's 1-0 right now, SKEU versus Complexity BHMs. And, oh, there we go. Look at that. These teams are ready to go. Queued back right into Ruins of Lordaeron.
The only team here that has actually swapped up their comp, that being SKEU, and it's only been in situations where they had already won the series. So even after the second and fourth game, I do believe the only thing they'll talk about is maybe some strategy changes, but the comps will stay the same throughout these 5 games.
So on the top left-hand side of your screen, once we do get an in-game camera, is going to be, of course, the new team of Complexity BHMs. Top left is going to be Barogo, who's going to be named QTFTT. Then we have Massives on DK and Snuts on Warlock. Top right is going to be SKEU with the Druid of Enigmas, followed by Spider Manx, who's actually another, and Inflame.
And now Ruins of Lordaeron. The one thing you can say, when a team does go and get momentum on this map, they will attempt to push the other team away from the sarcophagus and force them out in the open and go for a kill. But in that last game, it was really Massive just getting pulled into a poor position, and Brogo getting into that Cyclone, just a tough spot. So we'll see if BHMs can turn around, but if it goes anything like last game, SKEU staying very dominant from start to finish.
Gates are about to open. We're going to follow another in, since he definitely was the MVP of that last round. Another looking for his first target, which is going to be the pet.
And now Snuts getting his portal down, throwing up Shadow Ward before he actually gets into this fight. and not really many dots rolling yet from him, and finally getting into this game, and he's going to death coil and Flame's pet. Apparently it was a big threat, and he wanted to make sure it didn't get over to him. And now actually another taking a little bit of damage, 15,000 HP or so, and easily picked back up as neither team has MS, but Snuts dropping down below 10,000 and spiking very quickly.
Already a gargoyle out onto Snuts. We did have a howl right there.
Oh, a banish on a Brogo. That's not good at all. And you can expect a Cyclone to follow, or a Fear, or both, actually. And that Fear was devoured, but it's okay. Cyclone to follow it immediately. Now Massives is death coiled away. AMS is up. But still, SKEU doing a great job with this momentum.
These DKs are just gripping each other all around. Another is in that Chains of Ice. DKs are hitting each other onto Massives, but Massives down to half, and look at that. He's dumping his death coils into the pet of Snoots.
And now we do see those health funnels coming across. Innervate used by Brogo. Snuts pet in a perfectly fine position, as well as in Flame. So both these druids well aware of what is going to happen in these games.
We have an Innervate used from Enigmas, and he is full mana now. You can only assume that Brogo has used his. Massives down to half right now. Oh, big heal, bringing him back up to full, and there's dots everywhere.
And now you do see Inflames using his spell lock onto Snuts, trying to slow things down. But we do have a Gnaw and then a Cyclone onto Enigma, so he might fall behind in healing just that little bit, and that's basically what these teams are going for. But look over to Snuts, who spikes down very low, and in come the heals from Brogo, but he's going to be spell locked and finally get those dots rolling once again. And now look at another trying to put his pet down, but the heals do come through.
Another's pet was, Inflame's pet was killed, which he did need to summon a second one. Big Fear right there, hitting Inflames, and at the same time he had one on Massive. So Massive's trying to get back onto his target, which is going to be Inflame's pet yet again, and it's going down very low. 3,000 hit points left on the pet. However, Snuts taking a lot of damage, and same with Massives, who is gnawed right now.
AMZ is going to go up from Massives to try to mitigate a lot of the damage that these teams do. And you see it's actually a DK dance, and you're going to see a Chains of Ice as another will kite out. But there's a Death Coil, another dropping down to 12,000 HP, and up goes the next AMZ. Who owns it? Not sure. They need to label these things, maybe. Give it a name tag. But Brogo is sitting around 7,000 mana, and Enigma sitting around 6K, so pretty even match. But a Massive's very low. AMZ goes up, down to 5,000 HP, but a full line of dots on another as well.
Massive sacking his pet right there, getting himself up to full. Spider-Man, or another rather, having to...
Brogo, Death Coil, oh my god, 2k HP, it was so close. It might still happen though, oh my god. And you see those hots rolling, Death Coil flies across 548 HP. There's that Drained Soul, and as soon as that ticks, he should be done. And Brogo goes down, leaving Massives with no HP. And SKEU gonna clean up this second round and take it as well. Or excuse me, third.
So we had this map on Ruins of Lordaeron. I mean, it was an exciting match. We had lots of momentum changes, and it was actually the longest one we've seen so far. And look at the damage numbers. I mean, we have 343,000 from Massives, 372,000 from Snuts. And look at Inflames. Look at the damage difference every single time from Snuts versus Inflame. It's just a little bit playstyle difference.
All right, and actually they're not going to take any time, it looks like, immediately queuing up for Blades Edge Arena. And now this is a very interesting map with these two teams playing against one another, because they have all the room in the world to work with, and both teams can take advantage of it.
So Blades Edge going to be the third round to decide if SKEU can win this match or not. Currently 0 for Complexity BHMS, which is going to be on the top left-hand side of your screen, and SKEU on the top right.
Now, SKEU can easily just take the series right here, and it would be a bad spot for BHMS this close to making top 4, but it would be a lot of pressure off of SKEU, knowing that they'll be able to advance into the top 4 and basically getting that clean slate and taking another shot at some of the teams that have beat them along the way.
So this map is going to be very interesting to see how these Warlocks and Druids play on this. The Death Knights will probably be doing their normal thing of sticking to each other and trying to kill each other.
Brogo this time going to have to watch him flame and really make sure he does not get banished again. That's just never going to be good, because after that banish wears off, you can expect a CC chain to follow from either Inflame or Enigmas.
Alright, so out of the gate we will follow Brogo to see how he can handle his first position.
And you see it, the HOTS are rolling, dots soon to follow, and in both teams pretty much doing the same exact thing. And now Brogo staying at the very back, and you see dots starting to roll on pets and people.
All right, so Brogo staying out of line of sight as much as he can, trying to keep the HOTS up onto Snoots, and no damage really coming out from either team quite yet, trying to let their Warlocks do the beginning of the round stuff as normal.
And actually in Flame's pet dropping down to almost half there for a little bit, as they're pretty much just trying to kill one another's pet. And there the DKs go. Massive's going onto the pet of another actually, and he will huddle that, preventing a lot of the damage coming in. So they're just trying to kill anything that gets in their way, it looks like.
Another right now taking a bunch of damage from the dots, getting up to full right there. Trying to swap in between the Fell Hunter and the Massives, who's also taking a lot of damage, but dots are everywhere right now for the team of SKEU.
So Massives and another's ghouls will go down. That's 2 less pets on the screen. Let's see if they'll work on those Fell Hunters now, as it seems like that most of the dots are being focused onto pets.
Massives, wow, that was a big Howl of Terror right there, catching everyone. Now Brogo down to half right now using Barskin, because he knew that once you get feared away, they could swap onto him. Enigma's sitting great, full mana, and in great position, center of the bridge.
And now as far as mana goes, I don't believe that Brogo has used his Innervate yet, and there it goes. And Enigma's actually already using his, but he's at full mana at this point.
Yeah, both Druids not having a problem with dots quite yet. Massive full line of dots, plus a gargoyle on him, taking a ton of damage right now.
And also you got to kind of watch out. Brogo, Spell Rock dropping down around 10k himself, but look through in Flames taking a lot of damage, full line of dots, and Massive doing a little bit of damage, but Brogo, Death Coil drops down to 1300 HP. AMZ does go up for the team of BHMs, mitigating a lot of damage, but very close to scoring a kill. Look on the other side, another dropping pretty low, but easily picked up by Enigmas.
Brogo just had to use a Trinket NS Swift Mend. He used a lot of cooldowns right there to keep himself alive when he dropped down.
And now you see a Cyclone on Enigmas, and another spiking down to about 11,000. Caught in a null, but he does throw up his AMZ. And you see Brogo actually chaining those Cyclones onto Enigmas. And now a Fear coming across, but will be broken immediately.
So Brogo right now is feared away. He was gripped down, and he just was almost stuck behind that pillar. All right, Massive's looking for his target, which is in Flames, trying to spread those diseases around with Pestilence. Flames cycloned right now.
And you see Brogo taking a little more offensive here and actually cycloning targets. Bartskin going back up. He will kite back up to the top of this map and start picking himself up.
All right, he's going to position himself where he was, actually trying to sit down and get some drinks off. However, he has to stand up and start healing some more.
So very long and steady, and these matches only get better if we do make it to a second Innervate. And now you see actually Snuts' pet getting lower, and he's going to pick it up with some nourishes, and in come those Cyclones once again. So Brogo opting not to stay in tree form and take influence the match a little more, while Enigma's just sitting inside a tree form and basically healing through this game.
Flame's pet is now up to full. It was dipping pretty low, but it got some big heals, and Brogo is feared right now at half health and travel forming it away, while the team of SKEU completely topped off.
And now you see it, Brogo very low on mana. He's going to throw a couple hots and start drinking because he knows he is behind. Now Enigma's down to less than 2,000 mana, and Brogo getting a huge drink off. This may be game-changing. And still, his team doing very well. He's just going to come out and Cyclone after drinking, showing how little damage that SKEU is doing at this point.
Now, Snoots' pet did die, and he had to resummon it. But look at Enigma's down to 2,000 life and War Stomped, followed by a Cyclone, getting ready for that Bear Bash right after. And here it comes, and he is dead.
And now Brogo turning it around and kind of schooling Enigmas there a little bit. BHMs will take this round.
All right, so that makes it 2-1 right now in favor of SKEU over Complexity BHMs. Now that was another long game, and the damage numbers show exactly what happened. I mean, look at the amount of damage done by Snoots.
And actually, Massives and Snoots both doing 60,000 more damage than their counterparts on SKEU of another In Flame. And now on your screen, you do see SKEU to the left, BHMS to the right, and they're not going to really have the opportunity to change anything up, so we should be going into Game 4 in just a moment. BHMS staying alive in the series.
And that was great play by Brogo that series. And, I mean, we saw tons of pets die, lots of swaps, but that's what these comps, when they play each other, it's exactly what happened.
Now, it was actually a very smart call from BHMS, Snuts knowing he still had Feldom up and just letting SKEU spend the time trying to drop it, while Brogo basically drank to full, and still, after Snuts' pet died, he didn't even have to come out and start hotting anyone. He came out and started actually CCing and then dropped below, and he saw that opportunity on Enigmas, getting so low with all those dots, and he was just about to heal. War Stomps into Cyclone, comes out, bashes. Pretty much the end of the story for Enigmas.
And Enigmas was behind the pillar when that happened too, so no immediate help from his team. Just waiting for these teams to queue back up. And again, on the left-hand side of your screen, that is going to be SKEU, and you can see in Flame's face lit up by the monitor right there. And on the right is going to be BHMS. And they are going to be playing on Ruins of Lordaeron for this 4th round.
So once again, the aggressor on Ruins of Lordaeron generally being the team that does take out a win. BHMS not out of the series yet. They can still tie it up 2-2. And after that last game, honestly, it looks like they prefer that longer game, whereas SKEU looks to try to open up those earlier opportunities with proper uses of CDs and CC and just try to go for a window where they know they could control Brogo and score a kill.
So in terms of gear, they all wear basically the same. I mean, if you compare their hit points and their mana, which normally is a great indication of what kind of gear they're wearing, I mean, even with all the buffs up, which it is right now, you know, almost no hit point difference between Massives and another. And then you look at Brogo and Enigmas. Enigmas has a tiny bit less hit points, and Snoots ending up with a little less hit points also.
And now Enigmas does have about a little over 1,000 more mana, so a little bit of a change between the two druids, but also that's one of the cool things you can check out on the Melee page on gotfrag.com. You can actually click individually on these players and see their armories from this tournament round and see exactly what they are playing.
So we'll follow Inflamed out of the start. Of course, he'll be dotting everything in sight, as we've said.
All right, gates have opened. Game 4, BHMS versus SKEU, and dots in hot starting to roll already. And now last time we saw actually the ghouls of another Massives being the initial targets, and now we'll see if anything changes up, but I'm pretty sure it's just Tab and Dot at this point.
Yeah, and Inflame getting UA off onto Massives, and every time he does get one of the Shadow Volt procs, he is going to cast it right on him. So Massives taking a bunch of damage already.
And actually dropping below 10,000 HP, getting very low. A little bit of control on a Brogo, and this could look bad already. We do see the Cyclone on a Brogo, but AMS will allow Massives to get picked back up. So honestly, SKEU with the initial pressure in this game already.
Fear on a Brogo right now. He's still feared, and he's going to sit right through it and get those hots back up, both on Massives and Snoots. But look at Massive still taking a lot of damage, and he's starting to burn through those defensive cooldowns already.
And Icebound Fortitude used, AMZ being thrown up actually by, I'm not really sure, can't tell.
Was Massive's, yeah.
Massive's AMZ thrown up, and now you see an Innervate already from Brogo, and now Enigmas is going to pair off and use his Innervate at the same time. So both of those used exactly at the same moment. And now a little bit of damage going onto the side of SKEU with a Death Coil onto another.
Enigmas was bashed right there while his Innervate was up. But look at Massive's taking a ton of damage. They turn it around so quickly. And even Brogo has NS up. So either it was too late, who knows.
and now actually another using his Strangulate on Massives and Inflame following through with that Death Coil. It just honestly looked like Brogo was unprepared, fall behind a little bit on Hots, but honestly Massives throughout that game was really the target of SKEU. So after a quick game 4, it is going to be SKEU that win the series 3-1, but we still have one more game coming up because it's coming down to the wire for top 4 in the round robin portion of the tournament.
So SKEU beating the other team that runs their exact same comp. Great confidence booster for these guys, and you know they're not out of the finals yet. Both these teams, this was a very important match for them. We are going to be going on to Dalaran for our 5th and final round of this match.
Okay, and it looks like no changes, not anyone really talking, and this is a bad moment for BHMS because now everything comes into question. Who did they beat? Who did they lose to? And it's going to be very tight when we look at the top 4, but SKEU going to be able to represent all of Europe coming into the top 4, and I'm pretty sure they are locked in, though.
Yeah, with that win, I do believe that's going to put them into 3rd or 4th currently.
Let's see. Their overall record 3-3. That'll put them at 4-3, and yes, 4 wins should do it and put you in a comfortable position because after 7 games played, that'll put Complexity, BHMS at 3-4, and that leaves just, I believe, Button Bashers and Fnatic to play, which is going to be our last game of the round robin coming up after this.
So that's a big match for Fnatic.
Yeah, yes, it definitely does. SKEU just got to confirm 4-3 in the top 4. Now, everyone else that's at 3-4, those are when those questions are going to start. But let's go ahead and wrap this series up with Game 5, playing it on Dalaran Arena between SKEU and BHMS.
And we're going to follow Enigmas out of the start. On this map, it's we saw last time a huge grip onto Massives, or from Massives to another, but they managed to turn it around and kill Massives.
And once again, Hots are rolling, dots are ticking. Same thing we see in these mirror setups, but another the one taking a lot of damage early on in this game.
Another's target is he's going to switch back onto Massives once he realizes that he does have all those Hots on him, and he grips Brogo in, who was in travel form just then, and wow, they're going to chase Brogo all around this arena.
And actually, there's a Strangulate already on a Brogo. He's falling below 10,000 HP, but after that, he will pick himself up and follow with an Arcane Torrent. So SKEU chaining together a little bit of silence, trying to see if they can get Brogo to fall behind on healing. And now, there's not really a lot of dots rolling onto SKEU except on another and a couple onto Inflames, but Enigma's completely safe, and we do see a Fear onto Inflames. And on the other side of things, there's no Warlock dots up at this point.
Brogo switched to Caster Form. Looked like he was going to look for a War Stomp there for a second since he's chasing around Enigmas around these boxes. Lots of dots out on both sides. Both teams starting to actually rot down in hit points. Snoot's taking a bunch of damage since he does have that Gargoyle on him. Inflames with a Spell Lock.
And you see even Searing Pains coming out from Snuts. And his pet's actually getting very low. Is a Spell Lock on him, and down goes Snuts' pet. So no pet for just a moment. And he's trying to get away to see if he can get another pet out. And Flame's pet still up and doing just fine. And still Snuts with no pet, and that's going to do it, and just gets completely domed while having no pet out.
Inflames, saw that he needed a pet, death coiled him right after when he saw he needed to run and summon.
And to add insult to injury, Brogo will get banished while Massives dies.
All right, so exciting series again, ends 4-1 in favor of SKEU.
So we do have one more round-robin game to play. It is going to be between Fnatic and Button Bashers, but first we're going to take a short commercial break and come right back to us live in Anaheim for the Major League Gaming 2009 PC Circuit played on HB.